You ever watch a show and been in complete awe throughout? That's the state I was in whilst watching Stranger Things. A perfect show with a balance of sci-fi, mystery, 80s nostalgia and horror. But most of all, Stranger Things had heart, it had integrity. These characters weren't just characters, but were people we got to know and root for each passing episode. We learned the dynamic of Mike and his friends, the tragic past of Chief Hopper, Joyce Byers' mice hysteria. We learned of Steve Harrington's deceitfulness, Nancy's desire to fit in, and Jonathan's weirdness. When all these characters came together in the final episode, it felt deserved, and seeing all these people that we had came to know and love join forces in order to find Will Byers was satisfying and dramatic. The stakes were high, and we as an audience cared. I could gush and talk about the rest of the show for hours on end, but that's not what this piece is about. Rather, it's about an exchange near the end of the show, an exchange which, despite the character growth it portrayed, was completely and utterly ignored. One between Nancy and Mike.
I knew you were acting weird, I thought it was because of Will.
I knew you were acting weird too. I thought it was because of Steve.
Hey. No more secrets, okay? From now on, we tell each other everything.
Okay.
In this clip, a dynamic is set between Nancy and Mike. A dynamic that has never actually been seen in the show thus far. We've been told that Nancy used to be cool.
She used to be cool.
And that her and Mike used to be close, but we never get to see it. In fact, through the show, we see the wedge between Nancy and Mike more than anything, and now Nancy has changed to be a complete douche to both Mike and his friends.
You're such a douchebag, Mike!
So when this moment happens, when Mike and Nancy finally act like brother and sister, it feels wholesome and earned. The things that these two have been through in the show prompt them to put their differences aside and finally act like brother and sister again. Their bond has mended and the two are back on track to being close again, showing their growth in the series due to all the horrific stuff they've been through. And then they had to make another series, didn't they? Yep, to mine and many others' dismay, the show was renewed for another season, and it paled in comparison to the quality of the first. But I'm not here to review season 2, I'm here to tell you why it takes backward steps in the character's growth and starts them from square one again. And when you know it, it's the very first scene of season 2. Watch this.
What the hell are you doing?
I'll pay you back. Bye.
Mike! Get back here!
No running in the house.
What is going on? Mike! Mike!
On surface level, the scene doesn't seem too bad, does it? Now think back to the scene that Mike and Nancy shared in season 1, the one I was talking about before which made them closer. How do these two scenes relate, you may ask? Okay, hear me out. So instead of Mike being a complete tool, stealing Nancy's money to go to the arcade, why didn't he simply stop and tell her? During his mad dash with his bike, he could have easily shouted why he'd done it and why he needs to take off, but no. The scene is played for comedy. I feel like the scene ruins the established new dynamic between Nancy and Mike. There's supposed to be a closer bond between them, and instead of the scene playing out with Mike asking Nancy for the money, or Nancy voluntarily giving him it because she knows he has none, it shows Mike stealing the money and not telling Nancy why. It may seem detrimental to some, but the whole payoff of the two becoming closer at the end of season 1 is completely gone in the very first scene of season 2. I just don't understand how the writers didn't realise that they made Nancy's and Mike's growth as siblings completely unimportant in this first scene. And it starts a lot of trends in Stranger Things in later seasons that the writers either retcon or forget about certain characters' growth so they can make the series more comedic and appealing. But that's another video for another time. To me, this scene contrasting so greatly with the scene that preceded it in season 1 just goes to show how little the writers actually cared about carrying on the story of Stranger Things from season 1, caring more about making the series more 80s nostalgic and making not one scary honest monster, but dog versions of it. To be honest, it really set the tone of Stranger Things from there for me. The series should have been one season, and would have worked as such, but alas, they had to drain the series of nuance or growth it once had, and this scene, the beginning scene of season 2, is what killed Stranger Things for me.